A little history of Hyderabad. Abul Hasan Tana Shah, 1672 to 1687. Abul Hasan was an indolent, lazy and pleasure-loving sultan, and he was popularly known as Tana Shah, or the benevolent ruler. He was the last and most popular ruler of the Qutub Shahi dynasty. In his early days, Abul Hasan appointed Sayyid Muzaffar as his Mir Jumla. Mir Jumla means chief minister. Muzaffar tried to dominate the king, so he was replaced by Madanna, a Telugu Brahmin from Hanumakonda. Madanna had an alliance with Shivaji. Madanna attempted to avert the danger from the Mughals to Golconda by forging friendly relationships with Shivaji. And on March 7th, 1677, Shivaji visited Hyderabad and signed a treaty with Abul Hasan Tana Shah. Under its terms, Shivaji agreed to help Golconda in case of attack by the Mughals. Further, Shivaji agreed to hand over to Abul Hasan parts of Carnatic which did not belong to his father after their conquest. By another clause of the treaty, Golconda agreed to pay 1 lakh hun every year to the Maratha king. In return, Shivaji gave up his demand for Chauth on the areas of Golconda bordering the Maratha kingdom. Abul Hasan gave monetary help to Shivaji in his expedition to Tanjavur and the southern Carnatic in 1677. This yielded to Golconda large territories formerly under the control of Bijapur. Thus, Madanna by his diplomacy succeeded in establishing close relations between the wealthy Muslim kingdom of Golconda and the powerful Maratha kingdom of Shivaji. After the death of Shivaji in 1680, his son Shambhaji continued the alliance. Aurangzeb was alarmed at these developments. But Aurangzeb was preoccupied with the Afghan uprising in the northwest and the Rajput wars. After the conclusion of the Rajput war, Aurangzeb moved his army to Aurangabad in 1682. Aurangzeb's son Prince Akbar, who rebelled against his father, took shelter in Shambhaji's court, Shivaji's son. So Shivaji's son gave sanctuary to Aurangzeb's son. Aurangzeb's son's name was Akbar. Shambhaji, however, vacillated in giving full help to the rebel prince Akbar. Aurangzeb realized that in order to control the Marathas effectively, it was essential to annex both Bijapur and Golconda to the Mughal Empire. In April 1685, the Mughal army attacked Bijapur. After a costly military effort lasting more than a year, Aurangzeb succeeded in annexing Bijapur in September 1686. When the siege of Bijapur began in April 1685, Abul Hasan sent a message to the Bijapur ruler Sikandar Adil Shah that he would send an army of 40,000 from the east against the Mughal army, while the Marathas would attack the Mughals from the west. Unfortunately, this message fell into the hands of the Mughals. Aurangzeb, incensed, very angry by this message, sent a large Mughal army under the commander of Prince Alam against Golconda. The Mughal force was, however, defeated at Malkhed on the border. But the commander-in-chief of the Golconda army, Muhammad Ibrahim, he defected to the Mughals, another traitor. So Mughal force was defeated at Malkhed on the border. But the commander-in-chief of the Golconda army, Muhammad Ibrahim, defected to the Mughals with his entire force. The Mughal army entered Hyderabad and plundered the city. Abul Hasan took refuge in Golconda fort. Aurangzeb knew that it was not easy to capture the fort, so he offered to withdraw the army, provided Abul Hasan dismissed Madanna and Akkanna and surrendered their border districts and pay a huge indemnity. Abul Hasan agreed to the terms. Thereupon Shah Alam withdrew the Mughal army to the border. After the withdrawal of the Mughal army from Hyderabad, Abul Hasan did not observe the terms of the agreement. Murder of Madanna and Akkanna. Of course, now if you notice, Abul Hasan did not observe the terms of the agreement after the withdrawal of the Mughal army. So it was a ploy. But the murder of Madanna and Akkanna took place because of the Muslim nobles who were annoyed at the growing Hindu influence at the court of Golconda. They hatched a plot with some ladies of the harem and murdered Madanna and Akkanna on the streets of Golconda fort in March 1686. The murderer was Jamshid, a steward of the royal court. And then finally the Golconda fell. After the death of Madanna and Akkanna, there was no real intelligence in dealing with the military situation, and finally the murder of Madanna and Akkanna led to the fall of the Golconda. The siege of Golconda began in January 1687 and lasted for 8 months. The fort was defended by Abdul Razak Lari, whose surname was Mustafa Khan. Aurangzeb tried to bribe Mustafa Khan, who rejected the tempting offers. But a traitor named Abdullah Pani accepted the Mughal money and opened the eastern gate of the Golconda fort on 20th October 1687. The Mughal forces entered the fort but faced a stiff resistance from Mustafa Khan, who fell down. Mustafa Khan fell down with 70 wounds on his body. His wounds were treated by the Hindu and European physicians. After his recovery, he was given a mansab in the Mughal army. Abul Hasan was taken prisoner and confined in Daulatabad fort, where he died in 1701. The fall of the Golconda fort marked the end of the Qutub Shahi dynasty, and Golconda was annexed to the Mughal Empire.